Hello and welcome to the Weight Free Wellness Podcast. I'm Tara Bachland and this is, of course, the Weight Free Wellness Podcast. And today we're talking about how to improve your health, but more than that, how do you get results? And, for me, it's been about at least a 16-year journey of being on a solid health and wellness path. Before that, I would say I was kind of guessing at putting things together, and you're kind of to some degree, you're guessing all along the way, but I can definitely say over the last 16 years, I can really see the difference that I've made in my life, and it's become such a habit that honestly, I have to kind of really look back and really dig deep to observe what I have done and what I'm doing, and maybe just to put a little perspective on this. First of all, it's kind of hard and it's kind of weird for me to talk about myself this way. But I realize that so many of us learn from each other's experiences. And so just a little background, sorry if you've heard this before, because I do share it in a number of podcasts in different ways. But as a youngster, around 9 or 10, I had really painful digestive issues, which, I'd get off the bus and I'd have to rush to the bathroom and what would probably be these days, now I was not ever officially diagnosed, but would probably be diagnosed as celiac disease and irritable bowel syndrome, just by the symptoms that I was experiencing. And so my body wasn't absorbing nutrients, and that also affected my skin, and I had very painful skin issues to the point I was actually sharing with my husband the other day. We were training martial arts and I was saying, I can remember just a few years ago, because it has been this long of a healing journey. It's been over 20 years. I can remember just a couple of years ago where my skin still got irritated when we were training martial arts, which is there are a lot of arm movements and that kind of thing. And I would avoid exercising for so long, for so many years, because it would just hurt to move. And so a lot of this is built around getting over those hurdles that may be in your way, that may not be like typical hurdles. And so when I say to improve your health, it's simple. I don't mean to make you feel like crap or anything, because I know that at the time when you're really trying to overcome, and I still have things that I'm working to overcome in my health, I know that it doesn't seem simple. But when you have the perspective of hindsight, you can see that the elements are simple. So when I say improve your health, it's simple. Don't kick me to the curb right away, okay? I know that when you're in the midst of struggling with health issues, this just does not seem true. And I know that it may be difficult because you can count on all hands and all feet and how many diets and programs you've been on. But I'm here to emphasize that that's it. That's why it doesn't seem simple, because being healthy is not about being on a program. So I encourage you to think about an area in life where you feel really successful. And this might be your career, it might be in family. There could be so many other areas in life where you feel successful. Maybe you're just great, and I don't mean just, but maybe your thing is decorating. You're great at that, or fixing up the house, or working on a car. There's something that you do that's particular to you that you're good at. And the reason is probably because, first of all, you're interested in it, which does really help. But the other thing about it is that you've been consistent over some amount of time in either studying it and observing when you go to other places and you see other people's decorating, or you like to read magazines in some way. And in many ways, you're consistent about it. So I want to emphasize is that about being healthy, it's not about intensity. It's not about the next program and the next thing you're going to put your body through. It's about working with it and as a partner, like a lot like you would if you're helping a kid through their homework and they're struggling over a math problem. You realize that it's not about the intensity and driving it home that really helps. It's about consistently working through the issue. And I'm sharing this because years ago I forced my body to get the results I wanted. Like any relationship, when you continually force what you want, the other party begins to resist. So whether it's your body, maybe where you're helping the child out with homework, if you're trying to force things to happen, or even in your marriage relationship, for example, the other person eventually does push back or just resists by not participating. So looking back now and definitely with more experience, I know that the best things in life take consistent effort over time and are done in cooperation. And I'd say it's helpful to have a sound goal in mind. To truly improve your health, you will need to make truly healthy goals. Rarely is a goal to achieve a certain weight healthy. And I'm going to say that again. Rarely is a goal to achieve a certain weight healthy. Instead, I encourage you to institute the healthy practices that you know are necessary and be surprised how you achieve a healthy weight. And it's no secret these days, the components to a healthy lifestyle and a healthy weight, they're everywhere, right? But I know that there are certain areas in our life that it's maybe more challenging, and so we do need to hear things over and over again. So I encourage you to just employ the healthy practices, and you will be so surprised by all the things that continue to develop. I still am 16 or in a lot of ways 20 some years later by continuing to support my body and how much it actually has improved even from when I was a teenager. And I know a lot of people, their height of health is when they're in their teens. And you too, over time, can be really surprised at the improvements that you can make. So I want to encourage you to employ consistent effort, and over time, with a bit, or sometimes a lot, of letting go, allow nature to take its course. You will see your desired results. And I've just noticed this even more. Like I said, I was training martial arts with my husband the other day, and just the improvement in my skin makes it so much easier to do the other things that I enjoy. And that is a tremendous benefit. It makes all of the time worth it, because that was really the biggest element for me. You know, I could make myself do a certain diet or something that was meant to eliminate certain allergens from my body, but it was actually the time component of allowing things to heal over time that was the most challenging for my mind to grasp. So I want to encourage you again, I'm using that phrase again, encourage. The best things in life take consistent care and time. This is the way the finest wines are produced and even enjoyed years after consistent care in their cultivation. Similarly, relationships grow and improve with a common desire and continued attention. A growing family needs great tending, feeding, pruning, guiding, allowing, and continued care to bear enjoyable fruit in the family. And even when bread dough is forcefully kneaded, it is still allowed to rise, to rest, to rise, to become the beautiful loaf it is meant to be through the process, even through the intense heat of the oven. And I think that's one of the best analogies, that we have all these processes that we're going to go through, and they each have their time and their place. But the bread is not meant to be constantly kneaded, nor continually baked. A wine left to continually ferment is not a product you would want to drink by the glassful, and that's for sure. How dull is a relationship that is constantly being picked at and pruned with no room for spontaneity or unbound growth or even fun? Working with your body for your fitness or wellness is the same. Imagine the fine product you'd like to create with yourself. Find the elements you must work with and address them patiently but diligently, step by step. And push, pound, and force only when absolutely necessary. Be consistent and open up space for growth and change. And most of all, enjoy every sign of growth. You'll be amazed the longer you're consistent with your health and wellness journey, the little changes that happen And make sure to notice those because they make the big changes even more sweet. And there'll be things like I shared just recently, noticing this extra level of my skin improving. And when things improve, it's easy not to notice them because they're not bothering you anymore. But make a point of noticing the improvements and really cherish and relish in them. And you'll just feel so much better and encouraged to continue a healthy path for your body, mind, and spirit. Thank you so much for tuning into this Weight-Free Wellness podcast. If you'd like a summary of those points, you can find this at weightfreewellness.com. And this is episode number 33. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.